How have I been live streaming? So that is my sharing for today. Perhaps some of you who will be coming in, because I know some friends who would like to learn from this experience. I know that you have been doing the live streaming through the iPhone, and that is really a good way to start. The basic live streaming is just simply click live in FB and you're on. Okay, so I think everybody could do that. But just in case you would like to level up your live streaming, you don't really want to bore your audience with simply just showing what is there. Perhaps you're showing the altar in the recollection, and so you wouldn't really want to bore them for another month. And probably you might like to try another level wherein you can actually do some overlay. I'm going to give you a sample later on. And then what I'm going to tell you today, as I've been asked to share, is my experience in using Ecamm Live, which according to my, I've been listening to Live Streaming Pros, I've been listening to Luria Petrucci, and she says that Ecamm Live is level 3 because it has more advanced features, no? But of course, it comes with a price. So I will also show you the pricing. But this is in answer to some requests on, since we're going to, we might have a prolonged pandemic. So how are we going to improve the quality of the recollections that we have? So actually, this seems to be a distant past. So it's going to, I don't know, when we're going to go back. Tell me if you're missing this experience of being there in the oratory, and with probably sometimes we can fill this up on a second Saturday. That could be around 200 or 250, and sometimes we had to ask the service personnel to put more chairs because second Saturday is really Saturday is really the rest day for the mommies, for the working moms, no? So that is something that we have to go back again. But at the moment, because of the pandemic, we cannot do that. So what we did is really to try to live stream. So for today, as I mentioned, I'm going to, of course, affirm you in your live streaming. If you're doing the basic thing with a phone, and I'm going to invite you to level up and see what is it that you could improve for the sake of your viewers. No? If you've been doing this for the past, since March, 7 months or 8 months, so you might want to change a little bit, no? Your live streaming, no? So actually, and then I would also want to give you reasons to level up in tiny steps, no? We cannot be afraid of making those tiny steps. Amy Porterfield has mentioned in a recent podcast that I listened to, action drives clarity. So at the moment, I think all of this that I'm going to say is a bit fuzzy. So a bit, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what Avik is talking about. But really, if you just take those tiny steps to level up your live streaming, then probably you can reach this stage where I am right now, where our recollections are right now, which is in level 3. Okay, and as I mentioned, I'm going to do a live demo. Actually, we haven't set up, but probably if Ele is willing, she could actually call, and I can show you. Yeah, thank you very much. I don't think I have set this up well. I should actually be muting this. I will minimize the black hole. Okay, that's right. So now you can see my screen. Yes? So you can see the main window. You can see me and one of the cameras at the right of your screen. And then you can see that Ella is trying to join in. So I will just click. This is already a live demo. I'll just click so she can enter. So there she is. Okay? So just quickly, because I know Elle still has other things to do, but I just want to advance this. So I go to the sample, and I'm going to accept her. First of all, I'm going to accept Elle. So there she is. And there. Hi, Ellen.
Hi.
So there she is. Would you like to share your screen? And let's see if we can actually handle this. Share your screen. Let's see.
Okay.
And then I'm going to choose Ellie here. I don't think Ellie has seen this. Ellie, you haven't seen this working,
Not
this
yet.
live demo. So I'm going to zoom because I want her to be okay. And then here below, there is the overlay. I'm going to put the overlay above. So there. So I think you can put that a little. Okay. So let's see if you can share the screen. Ella is going to share from the Chrome tab. And this is one of the steps in the, yes, now I can see her. Okay.
Is it?
Ayan. Yes, yes, that's all right. So there. That's her screen. So what can happen is, so that's right. I can move it up a little. Can you see that I'm moving it up a little? And I'm going to choose custom. I'm not going wide. I'm going to choose the custom so that I can move it like that. Okay. Still, it can actually be improved, no? But when I move up the overlay, you can actually see. So let's try to, what is the black? Did you see the black screen above Ele? That's supposedly the altar. So when you attend a spiritual recollection, most of the time you will be seeing the tabernacle. Earlier it was there, but since some people were there in the oratory, or what we call a chapel, no, they could actually hear my music. So somehow I foresaw that. So I asked someone who was praying the rosary, just in case I start the live stream and you could hear my music, just click hang up. So now I don't have the oratory. So basically when it's for our recollection and I set this up, I try to make sure also that during the examination of conscience, which is like the third or second step in our recollection, then you can actually see. So try to use that technique that I mentioned as you are reading the examination of conscience. Ele, this is an immediate demo. She's going to go to second page. Let's see. Okay. So you actually scroll down, right?
Yes.
You were scrolling down. Okay. So actually, you have to just change. Next time, you just have to change the number 2 or number 3 there on top. Okay?
On top? Okay.
Yes, yes. So that's all right. At least this is a quick demo. So whenever you want to, this is just a quick demo on how this is like the level 3 kind of live streaming. Okay? So that was a quick demo that we have so that people could situate themselves with this live streaming. Okay? And the materials that we get are coming from, for example, if Ella is going to read the examination of conscience, then she could actually get the script or the text of the examination from the website of Opus Dei. So every month, they come up with monthly recollection kit. Okay? And you can also get that from St. Josemaria Institute. So here they explain what is a day of recollection. It's actually moments of reflection. We get to be very busy throughout the month, and we could actually just dedicate 2 hours. When you say day, actually, well, the activities by themselves, you will only spend here in live streaming only 2 hours for the live stream recollection. But you can still prepare yourself throughout the day, make that as a day of reflection. And that's why it's called a day of recollection. Starting like March, we got the materials from this and we distributed them to all the ladies who have been attending our recollections in the university chapel. And then come April, we also did that, but we got some feedback from some ladies. Actually, they're somehow wanting to have a more synchronous recollection. No, something that they can do together with everyone, with many people. And at the same time, some temperaments would really want to have a set schedule. We decided, okay, fine, we still just have audio of all of these recollections, but we can do it together using my YouTube channel. So basically, I have a schedule and I flash it on screen. And then afterwards, the first scene is the meditation. Okay? Topic, there are two sets, for odd years and for even years. This year, we're following the even years set of topics. It could be about the gospel, it could be about Christian virtues. And then I show again the schedule, and then you will see the examination of conscience. And I've been very thankful to the St. Josemaria Institute site because they have the audio file, which I was able to use for several recollections. But recently, as Ele demonstrated, we are actually asking ladies to call in using the software's interview mode so that they can flash on screen the examination of conscience as they read it. No? That was the demonstration done by Ele earlier. And then the talk. So the talk has been pre-recorded since the time we began, but I think 2 months ago or a month ago, a friend of mine, Mags, also called in using the interview mode. Okay, and then after that, that's the second meditation, and then again I flash the screen while we set up the altar for the benediction. So that ends the day. So it's 2 hours of live stream recollection. So I will also give you my gear for live streaming. Okay? Of course, all of this you don't have to buy. You could actually just ask volunteers to lend, to be the one to manage their own gears, of course. So I began with the iMac 2019 that was useful for that is still useful for my YouTube channel. And I actually I would edit videos many times from here. But, it's not a desktop that should be wheeled around. And I would do that for every recollection. And somehow, I've had some crashes. The computer would crash. But I think it's also because of the editing. I'm using Final Cut Pro in my editing, and that's really a huge software. So I don't know whether iMac crashes were really due to its being moved around or because of the editing. In any case, I bought laptop because it's also useful for my other webinars that I can move around to a place where there is a better internet connection. I don't know if you can see here that the tripod, I was using a very cheap webcam, and somehow the priest was covering the Blessed Sacrament, so I had to put it on top. So seems to be weird. But I think I would not have done that if what was on the tripod was my Canon camera. But it was like very, very easy to do that with a cheap webcam. So with that, I could actually just live stream using everything from my MacBook Pro. So that's very convenient. You just need one computer. If you're going to use a PC, then for a level 3 live streaming, I would say level 3, like you have an app that you can put in your computer. So that one you can actually use vMix if you are in PC. Okay, now let's talk about cameras. I don't know if you can notice, tell me, what do you prefer? Number 1, this is number 1. This is number 2. So this is 1, and this is 2. So I started live streaming recollections with my Canon EOS M50. I thought it's all right, no? But somehow what happened was in the middle of a meditation, I didn't know it, but the camera stopped because the battery was only for 30 minutes. So I bought in Lazada or Shopee a dummy battery, and it made some errors in my audio. Okay? So what happened was after that, I was using already my iPhone, although once in a while I still try the camera. But recently, I bought this. I bought that from Shopee for 600 something. And that was because I was afraid that with my Canon camera, with a Typhoon Rolly, and it's possible that there would be an electricity brownout. So I had to do this so that I had to buy this because it's powered by a charged laptop. So in the end, I found it very useful. So I've been using that. But of course, I want to go back to a higher quality live stream, and that's why I'm going to try again using the Canon camera. And there's also other camera overlays. You can actually have multiple cameras, like here. if this were the oratory, at the moment I do not have the image of the chapel. If this were the chapel and the priest is giving meditation here, I can actually add other camera and that could work for custom. And possibly I can focus on the priest, but you know, sometimes some ladies would like to see the priest more, so we'll see in the future. So that's the possibility for higher or a more professional live streaming. Like you can have multiple camera overlays. Okay, now let's go to the audio. The audio has been my biggest challenge, but recently with the use of the webcam, I did not have any problem with the audio. At the moment, as Ellie has noticed, no, I could have some echoes, but this is because of the sound levels. There is another audio that's coming in, okay? So I already removed that, no, that's possible. Okay, so actually, I've been using, before I began live streaming the recollection with the only microphone that I have, and that is the Boya M1, and that is the wired lapel lavalier microphone. So probably it lasted me 3 months or more. And then somehow during the benediction, when the priest had to move around to go and walk, then somehow I'm afraid that he might trip on the cables, on the wired cables of the microphone. So it's an investment also for my YouTube channel. I bought the Rode Wireless Go. So that is a much, much better microphone. And somehow recently, a friend of mine told me, I was like listening to the meditation, and I knew that the priest asked for a fan, and I saw you moving forward and switching on the fan. And my friend said, you know, in my mind, I'm going to hear the fan, no? But I was so surprised with the quality of the microphone because I did not hear anything. It's because the Rode Wireless, this is the one that I'm using, no? It's like the direction. It's not like the Boya MM1 that really gets everything. So I think it's more of the cardioid. No, I have to check that. But it just so happened that I am not afraid, even if I put a microphone as requested by the priest, even if I put on the fan, it will not really damage the sound, okay? So somehow I'm worry-free. He can be moving around. He can go back to the sacristy with it. I can just mute his microphone, his audio. So I'm not worried at all that there'll be an accident because of the cables. No? Okay. So now let's go to the encoder. I'm going to show you the encoder. Okay. So I'm going to show you the encoder. Actually, as for your basic live streaming, you just use your phone, no? But for a scheduled live streaming, you need to use an encoder. It could be OBS, which is the most widely used, the free live streaming software. It could be Restream. It could be StreamYard. But I chose Ecamm Live right away because it's an encoder for Mac. Okay. And of course, later on, after making that choice, I realized that really I've gone up to level 3 right away when I started the live stream. Okay. So what are the differences? If I can recall Luria in Live Streaming Pros, in one of her videos, she explained that the level 1 basic is just with the iPhone or with a smartphone. You can just click live in Facebook or in YouTube. In YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers to be able to do that on your mobile phone. So that's level 1. Basically, point and shoot. No? So something like you just click live. No? So that's very basic, but you cannot do overlays. You cannot put in a pre-recorded video. You cannot do many things. So level 2 is browser-based. So that's Restream and StreamYard. So I attended a recent activity, and someone was doing it through StreamYard. And somehow, as it could happen here, because I did not set the scene, sometimes the host is coming in without the microphone. So it's something that can be set on the scene, like here in a particular scene. And it's possible using advanced features of the live streaming software. Okay, so and I think of course, there are many other, there are many strengths, but there are also weaknesses when it comes to browser-based. So the level 3, as I learned, is there's really a software that you can download in your computer. Okay, and it has more advanced features. Actually, it's not just Live Streaming Pros that I learned that. There are many other YouTube videos and channels that I watch to really get to know in what quality can be improved in my live streaming. Okay. So should I show you a sample? So this is a sample fly-in schedule. So there, I think that's a recent improvement. The test could be scrolling or flying in. I think that's a recent improvement, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's also, here is a sample talk. This is a huge file that somehow there could be so there. It's a huge file that was sent to me by my friend Anna, who was going to give the talk of the recollection. And it's something that has some, you cannot do that in many of the browser-based software, meaning you are limited in terms of the file size that you can put in your scenes. Okay? Okay, it's 3:52. Okay, overlay, that's it. And then the platform. Okay, you also have to choose the platform to, where will you live stream? Are you going to live stream to Facebook profile, Facebook page, YouTube? Well, for me, when I made the decision to live stream the recollections to YouTube channels, because I broke up with Facebook in November 2018, and I think only a month ago did I come back to it. So when I made the decision in May, there was only YouTube. So it was not really a hard decision. And because YouTube also has the unlisted, I really searched so much, I researched about this because the recollection is not really my property. I'm just a volunteer, so I don't really want it a public video in my channel. So I found out that it's possible to send an unlisted link that only the ones who have the link can actually join the recollection. And then right after, I put that to private. And I've had several requests of ladies who say, can you put it can you set it to private a little, like for after several hours? But the thing is, really, we wanted the recollection that's live stream to be really a synchronous recollection, because if you cannot make it to the time, then you have all of these asynchronous materials that as I showed you earlier, they are in St. Josemaria Institute website. They're also in Opus Dei website. So basically, the time for the synchronous recollection is second Saturday from 12:45 to 2:45, and fourth Tuesday from 5 o'clock to 7. So I hope you could join that. Let me know if you are not part of that our group, and I can send you the link. Okay. So as I mentioned, I really had no choice. It was really YouTube, no? But I was so happy to read again, because last April, when I was like thinking of how I could live stream the recollections, I'm a subscriber of audible.com, and I subscribe to several books. And I was thinking, probably in my I don't know, in my cleaning time, I could listen to a book that is about live streaming. And the one that I picked up to help me think of the challenges with live streaming is the book by Paul William, Paul William Richard. That's the book, Helping Your Church Live Stream. And this is from, it's talking about more of those little churches, Protestant churches, where you want the pastor's message to really reach more people. No? So they have many of these communities. I'm part of that in Ecamm, like Stream Your Church or Church Streaming. So the subtitle of the book that I not really downloaded, I subscribed to. So the entire book is entitled Helping Your Church Live Stream, How to Spread the Message of God with Live Streaming. So I learned a lot. It's really like making a headway when it comes to live streaming. I picked up that audiobook in April. So I really made a head start when it comes to live streaming. And I learned from there that his choice of the platform is really YouTube. And he said that because of the premium viewing experience. I've been reading that. I'm not really an expert in Facebook since I just got back to it, but I think there's cap to 720p image size or video file size. And I experienced that because when I was using Final Cut Pro and I wanted that to be in Facebook, and I said, I'm used to uploading to YouTube and it can take several minutes. So, okay, I tried to prepare that video for Facebook, and I said, I'm going to come back. But immediately, the file was there. So I somehow validate the experience that really it's a little, the quality is a little less than, the quality of the videos for Facebook could be a little less than YouTube. And also from the same author, he said that YouTube, he tried to test it with 100 streaming, both in YouTube and Facebook, and he noted the longer watch time and the higher view times in YouTube. Okay? But of course, he also noted all of the advantages also of Facebook and Facebook ads. But I was happy to note this, and I said and also he also said that many people probably prefer YouTube because there is no required login. Like many people could attend our recollections, and only a few would comment because they have an account in YouTube, which is the same as a Google account. So that one, I can see that it's a big advantage. And then there's reliable content daily. So for all my friends there who are really wanting to use Facebook, but you still wanted to experience this as the author mentioned, the higher view times and the longer watch time for people who use YouTube, then he recommends that you live stream to YouTube and then download the video and upload that in Facebook. It's not recommended, as I found out, it's not really recommended to be putting a link in your Facebook post because the idea is Facebook loves Facebook. So Facebook wouldn't want a link that will bring the person outside the platform. So the author of this Helping Your Church live stream was saying that you live stream to YouTube and then you download the file and then post it as a video, like something new, something new in Facebook. Okay, because again, remember, Facebook loves Facebook. Okay, so also he said that people view YouTube or stay 5 times longer than in Facebook. So I thought that that is something that I could underscore in this live streaming because I know many people love Facebook. But if you want that quality, okay, quantity, Facebook might have a lot, really, even with the ads, you can get more, no? But the quality is still, according to this author who has been live streaming since about 7 years ago. He mentioned in his starting story, like in 2013, he encountered that need to be in a live stream, in a church that would live stream. So I think about 7 years. Okay, so he's saying that YouTube is better in terms of quality. Okay, do you agree? Type 1 if you agree. Okay, and why would I pay for Ecamm? I'll show you. Let me see if I have this. We will end soon, very soon. I'm just going to finish my PDF file. So this is the microphone that I was using before. I still have it. And then I invested in Rode mic. And then, now this is the pricing. So Ecamm could be very pricey, but we're able to tackle this with, again, we pay for the quality and for so many other things, as you have seen. And I can tell you, no, why am I paying for that service? As I mentioned to you, I'm an academician, and before, when I was choosing like an app, for example, you choose the free app, but then it takes so much time to really study it on your own, no, how it works. So getting from that experience, this time, since live streaming was so challenging for me, I decided to pay for that service for an app that is like really, you get all the support that you need as you are learning it. Okay, so are there some questions? I know that people have for some people, viewers who do not have logged in, they might not be able to post, but for the ones who have an account, you might want to ask some questions. If not, we'll wrap up. So I think I have another PDF file here. So this is like the overlay that we give. We show it in every activity, which you cannot do when it comes to the basic live streaming using your phone. No? And then there, I could actually make that into a fly-in text. And then as a summary, this is basically my gear for live streaming, the days of recollection. No, the camera, and then the phone. The phone, in order to be the image to be seen in the app, I bought this Shoot app and also the Ecamm. No, and then lately I've been using the webcam. And then you saw my microphone, the Boya omnidirectional, and then the Rode. And then below you have the encoder, Ecamm Live. The free one is OBS. The second level, which is browser-based, is Restream and StreamYard. I'm in the level 3, which is really an app that you can download in your computer, and that is the Ecamm Live, and I stream onto YouTube. Okay. Okay, you are right, Ele. Can I put this in the broadcast? The limitation of Ecamm is that it is exclusive to Mac. Okay, you are correct. It is, so vMix is the level 3 live streaming. That's really like a software that you can put in your PC, but I cannot teach you anything with vMix. But probably if you ask me some questions, I could answer, because sometimes some features are generic, but I cannot help much. So really, this is, if you are, for example, in the province, and you might want to look for volunteers who have a Mac, and you really want to invest in Ecamm because of this higher quality live streaming, then I think that's the only solution, to look for volunteers, because I would not recommend, of course, investing in all of this. You just need to have volunteers who probably are considering a second career in live streaming, and they would want to help the nonprofit organization you're in, but also want to get some skills, to level their skills, no? And so that's it. So all of this, this is my gear for my YouTube channel, and of course I have others, but these are the ones that I put in live streaming for the days of recollection. Okay, I wanted to do some other demos, but probably I'll do that later on how to set up the recollection in YouTube, because it's already 4 o'clock. Okay, are there some more questions? Okay, so with this, let me go back to my main camera. I'm very happy that you have come and you have shared your afternoon, and I hope that you have learned. And if it's the first time that you have learned that I've been doing managing recollections, I'll be really going to pass to you. Just email me or follow my channel. I have to see my channel, my page in Facebook. That's just Avi Caparaz. message me in Messenger, and I'm going to give you the link for all of our recollections every month. Okay? So if there are no more questions, I think I have to end here. Thank you very much for coming to my live stream. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.